Good morning, everyone. I've been really conscious of the volume of communications relating to the school response to coronavirus that have gone out over the last 2 weeks. In this newsletter, I'd like to briefly add to these communications, but primarily focus on some different topics. During the Christmas holidays, which somehow already seemed like a distant memory, I was more attuned to public affairs than usual and became more aware of how prominent the voices of young people are becoming in the world. Autumn Peltier has been a prominent water conservation activist since the age of 8. Ashina Azara has received a great deal of publicity after writing an open letter to the Australian Prime Minister calling for exports of waste paper and plastic to Indonesia to stop. And I'm sure we're all aware that climate activist Greta Thunberg has been referred to as the voice of a generation. Our college strategic plan dictates that we encourage our students to make their voices heard, and I can think of many current examples of this happening in the college. This includes our student leaders last month meeting with the college board. They outlined their goals for the year, and these were centred on ecology and reconciliation. I hope that the example of young people having a voice on the world stage will embolden all of our students to speak out about what's important to them, not just in the school, but in the wider community. In the last newsletter, I wrote about the season of Lent as a preparation for Easter, when we commemorate the death and resurrection of Christ. One of the suggestions was that we might focus more on responding to the needs of others rather than the traditional penance of just going without things. If ever there was a time where our school and our broader community needs us to be aware of and respond to the needs of others, it's during this current crisis. I think there have been a couple of great examples of this recently. Our Year 11 VCAL students spent this week in the far northeast of the state working with the community of Corryong building fences after the recent bushfires. The locals were just so grateful. The second example has been the response of our teaching and support staff to working with students during the last few weeks, which has been a period of heightened anxiety for all of us. At present, teachers are teaching classes, providing learning direction and support for students who are at home, while also trying to upgrade their own technical skills and prepare classes that can be delivered from home if we're required to close the school. Just such an incredible spirit of goodwill that's clearly visible in our students and our staff in these examples, and we really should all be very proud and very grateful. The college has a long-standing commitment that no student should ever need to leave the college due to a change in the family's economic circumstances. We're usually able to provide some support to families genuinely unable to continue meeting deadlines and commitments for the payment of school fees. This commitment will not change. Should a family find themselves in a situation where things are difficult, please contact the college by email on fees@sjc.vic.edu.au. It seems probable that at some point we'll be directed to close the school. If and when this happens, we'll commence remote learning. The partnership and support between school and families in supporting continuity of learning for boys will be even more critical than usual. Please reinforce to your son the importance of checking student notices on Simon before 9 a.m. each morning. Instructions regarding any changes to any of their classes will be provided. They then need to check class notices for specific subject lessons. Having students at home learning remotely will no doubt cause some anxiety for parents. But please remember that you don't have to have specific knowledge to be able to support student learning. Often simply asking the right questions can assist boys solve the problem themselves. And also remember that teachers will be available to provide support and advice to students during their scheduled class time. And as always, teachers will do their best to provide any advice requested of them outside these times. As previously advised, students will finish the term at 3:20 next Wednesday, March 25. At this stage, we expect school will resume for all students on Tuesday, April 14. We will be in regular communication during the holiday break to advise of these changes. God bless.